You gave up everything you loved for the sake of your health. You set aside warm bread, fried foods, and sweets, and filled your plate with salad, raw broccoli, cauliflower, onions, and garlic. You hoped this food would make you feel lighter, more energetic, and better than before. But only a short while after finishing the meal, pressure began building in your stomach. Your clothes started to feel tight. Your stomach began to bulge outward, gas started to form, and the very food you had eaten to improve your health began making you uncomfortable. And perhaps the most painful thing was not the bloating. The most painful thing was the confusion. You asked yourself, what am I doing wrong? Can my body not tolerate healthy food? Will I have to go back to the same old diet? Or are the vegetables that have been called the best foods for years actually harming my digestive system? The truth may be more reassuring than you think. In most cases, the problem is not that vegetables are bad, nor that your body is weak. The real problem usually comes down to one of three things: which vegetable you are eating, how much of it you are eating, and the form in which you are eating it. The same vegetable may be completely comfortable for one person, but cause gas and cramping in another. Even the same person may tolerate a small amount easily, but begin to feel discomfort as soon as they eat a large bowl of it. Today, you will understand 3 mistakes that thousands of people who eat healthy food make every day. You will also learn why raw broccoli, onions, garlic, and high-fiber vegetables trouble some people, and how they can be eaten more easily without removing them from your diet forever. But first, it is important to understand what bloating actually is. When you eat foods containing certain carbohydrates that are not fully digested in the stomach and small intestine, they reach the large intestine. The bacteria present there begin to break them down. This natural process is called fermentation, and gas is produced during it. This process is not a disease in itself. The problem arises when there is too much gas, the intestines are more sensitive, or several difficult-to-digest foods are combined in the same meal. In other words, the discomfort you are feeling is not always proof that the food has harmed you. Sometimes, it is simply a sign that your digestive system is having difficulty handling the current amount or combination. The first major mistake involves cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and kale are considered nutrient-rich vegetables. They contain fiber, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds. But they also contain a complex carbohydrate called raffinose, which the human digestive system cannot fully break down. When raffinose reaches the large intestine, bacteria use it and produce gas. This is why broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower can cause bloating and gas in some people. But now comes something that could completely change the way you think. Broccoli may not be your problem. The real problem may be the large bowl you ate on your very first attempt. Imagine that you had been eating a low-fiber diet for several years. Then one morning, you decided that it was time to change your life. At lunch, you ate a very large salad filled with raw broccoli, cauliflower, kale, chickpeas, onions, and avocado. No single food on that plate was necessarily bad, but you gave your digestive system several ingredients at the same time that bacteria could ferment. And then you blamed only the broccoli. The first way to prevent this mistake is extremely simple: reduce the portion size. Instead of a large bowl, begin with a few small pieces. Rather than eating the vegetable raw, soften it by steaming or lightly roasting it. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly. Cooking will not magically eliminate gas for everyone, but it can soften the structure of the vegetable, making it easier for some people to tolerate. Give your body a chance to adjust. Do not punish it. If a large amount caused discomfort, it does not mean that you can never eat it. Your body may be able to handle half the amount without any problem. Now let us move to the second mistake. And this is the part where the problem is often right in front of you in the form of a vegetable, but you fail to recognize it. You prepared a healthy pasta dish at night. You used less oil, added more vegetables, and the meal was not very heavy either. But a little while later that night, your stomach became bloated, or you felt discomfort in your stomach the next morning. You blamed the wheat, tomatoes, or oil. But the real trigger may be the onions and garlic in the sauce. Onions and garlic are high in carbohydrates called fructans. These are part of the FODMAP group. In some people, especially those with IBS or FODMAP sensitivity, they can cause bloating, gas, cramping, diarrhea, or an urgent need to have a bowel movement. But this can create a dangerous misunderstanding. It does not mean that onions and garlic are harmful to every person. If you can eat them comfortably, there is no need to remove them from your diet just because of a video. What truly matters is your personal pattern. Do you experience discomfort every time you eat a meal containing a lot of onions? Does raw onion cause problems, while a small amount of well-cooked onion does not? Do fresh garlic cloves trigger symptoms, while garlic-infused oil is tolerated comfortably? Understanding these differences is important because the purpose of a healthy diet is not to make your list of foods smaller. The goal is to find out what amount you can tolerate comfortably. If onions and garlic really do cause problems, you do not have to eat tasteless food. The green parts of spring onions, chives, ginger, fresh herbs, and garlic-infused oil can help preserve flavor. The fructans in garlic dissolve in water, but they do not transfer easily into oil. That is why garlic-infused oil can be a useful alternative for some sensitive individuals. However, do not store homemade garlic oil at room temperature for several days. Make it fresh and use it immediately, refrigerate it properly, or choose a commercially prepared infused oil that has been produced safely. Now comes the third mistake, and this may be the real cause of your entire problem. It may not be one specific vegetable that is troubling you. You may simply have increased your fiber intake too quickly. You were repeatedly told to eat more fiber, so you changed your entire diet in a single day. A large fruit and vegetable smoothie in the morning, a raw salad at lunchtime, apples and almonds between meals, and lentils, beans, broccoli, and cabbage at night. Each of these foods may be beneficial on its own, but together they can provide several times more fiber than your usual diet. Your intention was right, but the pace was too fast. Suddenly increasing fiber too much can increase gas, bloating, and cramping. The digestive system and gut bacteria may need time to adjust to the new amount. That is why it is recommended to increase fiber gradually and drink an adequate amount of water. Here is an important fact that may stop you from blaming yourself. Feeling discomfort does not mean that your body is simply not made for healthy food. It may only be a sign that you tried to change 10 years of eating habits in a single day. Your body is not being stubborn. It is asking for time. Make only one change at a time. First, increase the fiber in your breakfast and wait a few days. Then increase the size of your lunchtime salad. After that, add beans or cruciferous vegetables. This approach will not only give your body time to adapt, but it will also help you identify which food is actually causing the problem. But there is also a fourth, silent mistake. You are only looking at what is on the plate, not at how much of everything is there altogether. A salad may contain broccoli, cauliflower, onions, chickpeas, apples, and avocado. All of these foods may be beneficial in their own way, but for someone with a sensitive digestive system, combining them in one meal may push symptoms beyond the limit. Think of it like a bucket. One glass of water does not fill the bucket. The second may not either. But every new glass keeps raising the level, and eventually, even one small addition causes the water to spill over. Sometimes the last vegetable you ate is not the real problem. The real problem is the total load of the entire plate. So the next time you feel bloated, do not only ask, which vegetable did I eat? Also ask, how much did I eat? How quickly did I eat it? And how many fermentable foods did I combine at the same time? Now here is a simple practical method for you. For the next 7 days, do not change your entire diet. Simply observe. On the first day, write down what you ate, how much you ate, and how long it took for the symptoms to begin. The next time you eat the same meal, make only one change. Cut the amount of raw broccoli in half or steam it. If that makes no difference, then the next time reduce the onions and garlic and use garlic-infused oil or the green parts of spring onions instead. If the symptoms still remain, look at the total combination of fiber and FODMAP-containing foods on the entire plate. Changing only one thing at a time can help you identify a clear pattern. Keeping a record of your food and symptoms can help identify possible triggers. But throughout this entire process, do not make one particular mistake. Do not stop eating broccoli, onions, garlic, wheat, dairy, fruit, lentils, and beans all at once. Even if your symptoms improve, you will not know which food was actually causing the problem. At the same time, you may unnecessarily reduce the variety, fiber, and important nutrients in your diet. A low FODMAP diet may be helpful for some people with IBS, but it is not a plan for permanently giving up dozens of foods. It is a limited-term elimination and reintroduction process that is safer and more effective when carried out under the guidance of a doctor or registered dietitian. And now comes the point that should never be hidden until the end of any digestive health video, just for the sake of suspense. Not all bloating is caused by food. Occasional bloating is normal, but if it is happening repeatedly, getting progressively worse, or is accompanied by severe pain, persistent vomiting, difficulty swallowing, blood in the stool, a lump in the abdomen, a lasting change in bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss, do not keep changing your diet. Get examined by a doctor. The effort you made to improve your health was not wasted. You did not fail. And your body is not working against you. It may not need you to give up broccoli. It may simply need a smaller portion and a softer, well-cooked form. It may not need you to stay away from onions and garlic forever. It may only need you to discover your personal tolerance level. And fiber may not be the problem. The problem may simply be that you increased it too quickly and by too much. A healthy diet is not the one that looks the most beautiful on social media. A healthy diet is one that provides the nutrients you need, that your body can tolerate in appropriate amounts, and that you can continue for the long term without fear, confusion, or constant discomfort. So the next time your stomach becomes bloated after eating healthy food, do not start a war with your plate. Pause. Look at the portion size. Look at the combination. Change the preparation method, and understand how your body responds. Because often the problem is not that healthy food is wrong for you. The problem is simply that no one has yet taught you how to eat it in the right way for your body. This information is for general education and awareness only and is not a substitute for personal medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If your symptoms are severe, persistent, or unusual, contact a doctor or registered dietitian. Share this video with someone who is silently dealing with bloating and digestive discomfort despite eating a healthy diet. They may not need to give up vegetables. They may simply need to understand their body.